Alright, what is going on YouTube? Jester here today, bringing you another special video. And I wasn't even going to do a review video on this just because I've been so busy with other shit in my life right now, such as getting a house and things like that. I really haven't had time, but me playing this online right now and going through the issues that I'm fucking having literally pissed me off to the point that I had to do a video about this as soon as possible. And that's before I even got any more content on the game up, which I still will. I do enjoy the game when it runs well. But anyway, as you guys can see in the thumbnail and today's topic, today I am doing an official review on Street Fighter 5. Now, this is not going to be a professional review. It's not. I am a casual gamer. This is a casual review. If you want, as a pro fighting game player's point of view from it, you can go look at a pro if you're very competitive into this game. If you want a professional gamer review, such as somebody who does this for a living, very professional, does reviews all day, every day, more than welcome to check out their channel as well. If you want the casual review, you're at the right place, because I'm just a casual gamer. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the FGC. I love the fighting game community. I love fighting games. As you guys know, I play a lot of them. Street Fighter 4, Mortal Kombat X, Guilty Gear, Dead or Alive, Injustice. I mean, I play anime fighters, every fighter you can think of. So I'm pretty, I guess you can say, I have the knowledge to basically sum this up and kind of give you guys the best review from my point of view. And if you guys want to add something, please leave in the comment section whether I'm wrong or if I'm right. But it's just something that I really need to get off my chest and talk about today just from playing it 5 minutes ago. So basically, starting off with Street Fighter 5. Now, this game is not bad. It's not. Well, it's currently bad, but it's not a bad game. And now, what I mean by that is I'm going to tell you all the good about Street Fighter 5. And then I'm going to tell you the bad. And the bad outweighs the good as of now. So let me go ahead and start with the good things about Street Fighter 5. Now, I have Street Fighter 5. I bought it digitally the night. The reason I got it digitally is because they didn't have a midnight release in my GameStop or G2K or EB Games or whatever you guys have in your town. I didn't have one. So I couldn't get it. And I was going to order an Amazon Collector's Edition. Thank God I didn't, which I'm super happy about. But I ended up getting a statue off somebody really cheap, which is coming next week. So, and I'll probably review the statue. It's really cool. It's a reused statue doing the cross. Super sick. But that's the only reason I wanted it, was for the statue. Just add to the collection. But anyway, moving on. So I got Street Fighter 5. I picked it up, started playing it. Now, this is what I've noticed about playing it so far. I've been playing it for about, since release date, so 3 or 4 days roughly, whatever. Now, or a week, going on a week now. So basically, this is what I noticed. Street Fighter 5 is the best looking Street Fighter out, period. Not just because it's on next gen, just because they did put their time into it with the character development. The characters just look so good. They've aged. Charlie's all, you know, like Frankenstein lookish. Ryu, not normal Ryu costume, but the old man Ryu with the beard looks really good. Cammy looks good. Karen's age, she's older now. She's like rich, pretty girl, but she's not like a teen anymore. You know, who else? Chun-Li's aged a lot. I mean, the character, Ken's got a man bun. I mean, they look fantastic. They did a really good job on character design. Vega's a whole lot older. He's now like a Shadow Liu King or whatever. They did really good with that, and I'm happy that they did that. I love the way the characters look. I love that they're heavy, the way they feel. They're just more brutal, and the texture and things like that. Stages. I love the stages. Forgotten Waterfall in Street Fighter 5 is my favorite stage. I love that damn stage. Every time I get a chance to play it, I love it just because I love the scenery. I love the water coming down. I like the hiking thing, so it's really cool. I love that. I love everything about that stage. And I love that they're interactive stages now. You can kick them through walls or things like that once you finish the round and do like these special enders and things like that. I think it's super cool that they did that. Now, moving forward, those are some good things. Another thing that I like about the game is that they made it user-friendly for casual gamers such as myself or for you guys. What I mean by user-friendly is characters are not hard to play, such as they took out charge characters. Now, I don't have a problem with charge characters. I can play charge characters such as Rog in Street Fighter 4 or Guile or whatever. They're not that hard to play, but a lot of people find them frustrating because a lot of people play on controller instead of stick, and I can play on both. So when you play on stick, it's a whole lot easier to play it, but on like, if you play on pads, pretty easy too. But if you're playing on like a normal PS4 controller or Xbox controller and holding back all the time, it can get frustrating, and it's very hard to combo into that. So a lot of people do not like it. But they took that away. There's maybe, I think, 3 full charge characters in the game: Chun-Li, Bison, and Fong. Or I think the only 3. There's another one. Don't quote me. Birdie's not. Kami's not. Okay, yeah, I think it's only 3. Vega, and then they switched some characters and made them easier to play, such as Vega's no longer charge, and Charlie, who you would expect to play like Guile, is half circle, quarter circle, and Vega's half circles and Z's. So they're a whole lot easier to play. And I love that they did that. I really do, because it wants to bring more people in community event. Because there's a lot of people who will not play Street Fighter 4 because a lot of the cast is charged characters, and they don't want to play them. Like, they'll play Bullrog and go, oh, Bullrog's super sick, but I don't want to hold back all the time. And they also did it because it's easier to play, but they also did it for the competitive scene because charged characters are very OP, supposedly, because the only thing you have to do is hold back. So 75% of the time, you're always blocking. So it's very hard to get around them and, you know, tech them and things like that. So I understand why they did that, and that for me is a bonus. I love that they took that away. I think that's really, really cool that they did that. Now, moving forward, another positive thing that I like about the game, and this is another one, the new characters I think are sick, such as Laura, Rashid, Nakali. I don't like Fong, even though he's okay, and things like that. I think that's really cool what they did with him, like Laura being this Brazilian master who's related to Sean from Third Strike. You know, she's basically kind of like an Abel's type character. She has grapples and, you know, mix-ups and setups to where they're unblockable and things like that. She's really cool. Nakali, kind of like a evil Ryu on crack, very powerful character, has a command grab, also has some claw mix-ups with the charge, also has a uppercut and a stomp. Really cool and agile character, and he has like this Super Saiyan mode, super cool character. Fong, I like the idea of Fong. I like what they did. For instance, I love the fact that he does poison damage over time, which is really cool because you don't really see that in the game anymore. Especially in a Street Fighter game, I don't think you've ever seen a character who like poisons somebody over time. You know, fighting games usually take down their health bar and then it's over, but Mortal Kombat introduced that with Aaron Black, such as the tacks, which do damage over time, and the sword stab in the gut, which does damage over time. Whatever. I think that's really cool that they started introducing that. So Fong's very neat. He's very interesting. I just don't like that type of character. I never have. Just a weird guy. But the new characters are overall pretty good characters. Like, I'm happy with them. I'm happy. And even returning characters such as Birdie, Charlie, you know, things like that, I think they did really well. And, of course, we have DLC such as Jury's on the way, Alex, Yuri, and all these characters. So, those are some positive things about Street Fighter V so far. Now, you guys are thinking, wow, I mean, it sounds remarkable. I should pick it up. And I'm not telling you shouldn't pick it up. But for $60, I don't think you should buy it right now. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, moving forward, these are the bad things about Street Fighter V, and there's a whole lot, and it outweighs the good. So the first bad thing I want to talk about in Street Fighter V, like I said, I'm just a casual guy telling you a casual review. Training mode. Now you guys are going to think, or not training mode, tutorial. And you guys are going to be like, what the hell, why? Like, why is this even on your list? Are you retarded? I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. But the reason it's on my list today is because the tutorial mode is forced. It's a forced tutorial. Now, normally you guys would say, well, you want to go to tutorial. You want to learn. You want to get better. You know, you want to strive to be better, whatever the case might be. Okay, fine. We understand. Cool. But don't force me to do the tutorial. Now, this is just a minor thing. It's not a huge thing. It's nothing to be like, don't buy the game because of tutorial mode. No, I'm not saying that at all. But I'm definitely saying is the tutorial mode, it forces you into it. Now, for people who play Street Fighter or fighting games before, you don't want to go into, you want to go to training, you want to learn your own combos, your mix-ups, you know, if you have the basic idea, give me the option to skip it. That's basically all I'm saying. Tutorial mode's fine. Everybody needs to know how to play the game, and I think it's a cool idea to have tutorial mode, but I don't think you should force your customers or your gamers to actually go through it. And that was just a small minor thing. It's nothing to be like completely butthurt about, but it's kind of annoying, and I understand why people get frustrated because they want to leave it, they want to start, but it makes you go through it. So that's just one of the many things. Another thing that I do not like about it is there is no endless battle. There is a battle lounge, and it is one-on-one. There is no spectator mode whatsoever, and I hate that. So if somebody's playing, you want to join an endless, whether it's a pro fighting game player or one of your friends or whatever, no endless battles. No 5, 6, 10-man, 8-man endless battles where you fight. You can spectate the person fighting. After that, you go up or whatever. None of that. None whatsoever. And a lot of people are salty and a lot of people are pissed about it, and they have every single right to be. I was a little upset with it too, because I have multiple friends who play Street Fighter 5. I have YouTube friends that I play with who want to play Street Fighter 5. Sorry, I just hit the shit on my mic. And we can't, and that pisses me off, because I want to go in there, I want to see how they play, I want to learn that matchup. Somebody's playing Vega and I'm playing Bison. Why is Vega beat me? I want to know what he's doing. I want to see everything that he does, and I want to learn it, especially if they play it to an extreme level, whether it's a pro level or, you know, a good level, or some people would say Micro's godlike level. I want to know how to block and counter that. I want to know what's a high, what's a low, what's an overhead, you know, what mix up, what corner setup, whatever the case might be. And you can't do that. You can't do it anymore, and it's awful. Now, they're talking about an update to where in March we will see hopefully all this shit patched, but we'll see. Moving forward, so that's two things: the tutorial mode and the endless battle. Moving forward, story mode. This one's a big one for me, and this is the reason I'm really pissed off about it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Now, Street Fighter 5 does have a story mode, which is fine. A lot of people are excited about it. I'm excited that it has a story mode. I'm happy about that. I was super thrilled. The reason why is because I've played Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, all these games. I played growing up. I was born in 1993. I'm 22 years old. I played these games. I was in the era when arcades were kind of closing down, but they were still around. Basically, most people that played arcades were in like early 80s going into the early 90s, late 90s. I was born in early 90s moving into the 2000s when arcades were kind of shutting down. Home consoles were becoming a big thing, like PlayStation 64, things like that. So I would go to the arcade every now and then. I played these games. I love these games. Third Strike, things like that. I love these games before the arcades, you know, shut down or whatever. So seeing these characters grow up and learning the story of each one, such as Alpha with Akuma, Turbo, Super Turbo, you know, these games back then, like back in 2002, 2005 and things like that, and the arcades were kind of shutting down. I love playing these games and seeing the stories, how they grow. You know, Street Fighter 4 hitting that story a little bit harder, and Street Fighter Third Strike adding Sean being Ken's apprentice, and Alex and Urian, and where they fit in. I love that idea. Now, same thing with Mortal Kombat. I loved Mortal Kombat. I loved watching these characters grow from, you know, even though it got rebooted with MK9, but playing, you know, MK Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon, those games, finding the story about Liu Kang dying to Quan Chi and Shang Tsung because they combined forces, you know, just the story of these games moving forward, because back then we didn't have multiplayer. Multiplayer wasn't a big deal. I mean, you played each other in arcades, of course, like versus, but we didn't have actual online multiplayer where you can play another individual across the internet. We didn't have it. It just didn't exist. And so story was a good thing. That's what brought you there. You love the story. I mean, of course we love the competitive play, but you love the story. You get to know these characters. You know, when you play a fighting game online and you find a character, you base that character off what you know about them. You don't just pick the character, oh, they look cool, right? I mean, some people do, but not a lot. You basically pick that character and you go, why am I picking this character? Well, in the story mode, he's a bad guy. I like bad guys, I'm going to play that character. Or in the story mode, he's a good guy. I like good guys, I'm going to play that character, you know. Whatever the case might be, you have to have some kind of personal, not physical, that's weird, but personal connection with that character to play him. You know, maybe they remind you of yourself in a little way, or maybe they fit your playstyle with cancels, or, you know, maybe they shoot a lot of fireballs, you like fireball type characters, or maybe it's a charge character, you like holding back, you like defending and being more defensive than offensive. There's a reason why you play a character, right? So, growing up with these characters, it's really cool to see the story. Mortal Kombat X gave me that when I played MK9. I loved MK9's story because it kind of rewrote it. You know, Liu Kang's not the champion, you know, whatever. He died, you know, Raiden became the champion, whatever. I love that it did that. In MKX you get more. Johnny Cage has a daughter, whatever. Same thing with Street Fighter. You know, Ryu's fighting the Dark Haido. What's going on with that? Why is he becoming evil? Is he not? Is he ever going to figure out where it's coming from? You know, what happened to Charlie? Nash is back. We haven't seen him in fucking years. Why is he here? How did he survive Bison's attack? Whatever the case might be. Cool. Now, Street Fighter 5 does do that. Don't get me wrong. It does tell you what's going on in very descriptive ways. But I was told that we would get a interactive story. When you tell me interactive story, what comes to my mind is cutscenes. Mortal Kombat X had a ton of cutscenes. A ton, and I liked them. You have the option to skip through them, because a lot of people don't like cutscenes, but I like cutscenes. Street Fighter V doesn't have cutscenes. It does, but they're not cutscenes. They're not interactive cutscenes. There's no movie playing. It's literally pictures with words. It pops up with the picture. You guys can see it right here. It's shown on screen. It's a picture with words. Like, it's a picture and the voice actor's talking, and it'll skip to another picture, and it's basically showing the scene in pictures, kind of like that Street Fighter Alpha movie that they have on Hulu. If you guys watch that, which is, it's cool, you know, to hear the background story of Akuma and things, but it's all like pictures. It's not actually interactive story. And I was like, what the fuck? I wanted to see a cutscene. You know, Ryu's fighting the Dark Kaido. I want to see why. I want to see him, you know, the fucking rage come out of his body and him scream to the sky like he did in Street Fighter 4 when he played Evil Ryu's arcade story. At least Street Fighter 4 had the arcade story to give me a movie intro at the beginning and a movie intro at the end. You don't see any of that in Street Fighter 5. There's just not any interactive movie scenes. And I was so against that. The story, I mean, it's cool though, because like I said, it does go into detail. It does tell you guys what happened. But it's just, you want to see it. You want to visualize it, you know? You don't want to sit there and see comic book pictures of each chapter. I mean, like I said, some people like that style of art. I just don't. I want to see a movie intro. I want to see somebody fight Bison, or Charlie fight Bison. I want to see sonic booms. I want to see flash kicks. I want to see fucking suplexes, teleports with his fucking crystal in his head, all that shit. I want to see all that. I don't want to see a comic book picture basically telling me what happened step by step by step. I hate it. I hate it. I just don't like it. I'm sorry, I don't. That really, I was so disappointed. Now, don't get me wrong, there are interactive scenes in there. What I mean by that is when your character fights, there will be an interactive cutscene where your character is talking, and then whoever you're fighting, Vega, Bison, will talk, and then you fight. But that's about all the interaction that you get. Not good. It's really not good, guys. It's not good. I don't like that. I hated it. I really did. Now, good thing about the story mode, I'm not going to completely bash it. Like I said, some people do like that. If it's for you, thumbs up. For me, I want to see interactive cutscenes. I want to see somebody get their ass beat in a movie style fashion. That's just me. MK9 did it. Street Fighter 5 should have done it. Whatever. Now, there is some good thing about the story. You do see a lot of characters. You do see Jury. You see Oro from Third Strike. I think you see Urian, Alex. You see a bunch of characters in the game, which is cool. And their designs look good, so I'm very hopeful for what they will look like in Street Fighter 5. We kind of get an idea. I'm okay with that. Now, moving forward. But that was just the story mode. So the story mode was a hassle for me. The tutorial mode was a hassle for me. No endless battle was a hassle for me. Now, moving on, netcode. This is a biggie. So this is for the online people out there. This is not any single player shit. This is for online people. The netcode is not as good as it was in the beta. It has been up for literally a week now, and I am still having issues getting online. I kid you not, guys. I cannot stress it enough. Capcom even tweeted that our servers are down for maintenance day 1 of launch, and we will get them up as soon as possible. Now, normally you're like, oh, Jester, dude, you gotta let it rest. You gotta be quiet on this. You can't sit there and bash them. You know, it's a new game. It just came out. Blah, 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 blah. Normally, I'd be like, you know what, YouTube and the people in the community, you guys are right. You're absolutely right. I shouldn't bash them. It's a new game. Of course, it's going to have issues. Whatever. But there's that big ass but there. You had 3 fucking betas. Not 1. Not 2. But fucking 3. And a 4th mystery beta. Before the game even came out to test the fucking netcode. 4 betas. But we won't count the mystery one because a lot of people didn't know about it. So we'll count 3. 3 betas. With patches in each 3 beta to get the netcode right. 3. And you still didn't fucking get it right. Now I'm not going to bash Capcom because Capcom has made some awesome games. And I love Capcom. I love Mega Man. I love Street Fighter. I love Dead Rising. I love all Capcom's titles. I always have since I was a child. But the shit's unnecessary. You had 3 fucking betas. 3. Adding each character in each one. And they ran so good. The first beta wasn't the greatest. Don't get me wrong. It shut out a lot. A lot of people can get in for hours. But the second 2 were fine. I loved them. I didn't have any errors. And I'm plugged in, guys. I'm plugged into my router directly. And I have a Wi-Fi extender if I do need to run off Wi-Fi if something's going on. So I don't ever have lag, usually. Unless I'm streaming, but that's stream. And it's just fucking ridiculous. And it kills me because we had 3 betas, and now it's still doing it it's still doing it now. You cannot get a good multiplayer match without lag. That's why so many people are putting up reviews about this game, because it's having so many issues. Now they are saying that in March that they're going to release a lot of shit. Hopefully a lot of patches and things. Hopefully we get endless battle and things like that. But as of right now, the lack of content, guys, for this game, it sucks. It's definitely not worth $60. And if you bought the collector's edition for $100, it's definitely not worth the $100. That statue's probably worth $100. So I understand you. I feel you on that, because that statue's godlike and I had to buy one. But it's just not worth $60. Right now it's about a $35 game, or $30 max. And I kid you not. And I say it from the bottom of my heart. So that really is... That's awful. I mean, 3 betas in the net, and it just plays like shit. And it's crazy because the netcode was so good in the beta. And I never had any issues. Like I said, the first night I did, because it's the first beta, of course you're going to have problems. You have billions of people trying to get their hands on this game because it's the next big thing since 4. And you're going to have crashes and things like that. But I mean, you have 3 betas to fix this. You've had plenty of game time on this. You had plenty of people playing this, giving you inputs and feedback. There's no excuse why this shit should be down. There's not. And if it was any other game, and I didn't have a beta, and the multiplayer just sucked, I'd be like, you know what? You're right, fans, subscribers, YouTube community. You guys are right. You nailed it. You know what? It's a new game. There was no beta. Expect problems. Like GTA. Didn't have a beta. What happened? Shit was down for like 3 weeks. People couldn't get into the server. 1 billion people bought the game. Shit like that tends to happen. But you've had 3 betas. You've had feedback. You've had player data. You've had netcodes from all across the fucking world. Or not netcodes, just whatever. There's no excuse. So I'm going to give you shit about it. I'm just going to. And a lot of people are probably going to disagree, like, oh man, gotta let Capcom slide. I'm not. I'm just not going to let them slide. You had 3 fucking betas. There's just no excuse for it. There's not. And that's another thing that pisses me off about the game. Now, moving forward. Single player content. And this is for the single player guys out there. There's just not enough of it. You have survival mode, but there's no arcade mode. Gone. It does not exist. Now, there is a survivor mode, like I said. It's pretty cool. I think it's neat. You fight opponents, of course, and then you upgrade health or speed or whatever. And you unlock colors and things like that. It's really cool. It's a neat idea. I liked it a lot. I think it's cool. It gives you different colors instead of actually going online and fighting people. You can unlock colors through single player. There's no arcade mode. None. No destroying the car, no barrels, none of that shit. Gone. Completely gone. No arcade mode whatsoever. It's gone. I don't know why. It's gone along with endless battle. It's just gone. It just sucks. I don't know why. They just haven't brought it back. What else about Street Fighter V that really just pisses me off that I can't think of anything on top of my head. That's basically the big ones. The netcode, the story mode, no endless battle, no arcade, and just the lack of content as well, like costumes. I feel like we would have, at least some kind of costumes, which they are, which I think is super cool. Now, this is another thing I'm going to talk about. They did announce that you get, with your fight money, which you'll get a lot of playing the game and story, whether you play on story, online, leveling up characters, or whatever the case might be, you do get fight money. With this fight money, you can potentially buy DLC characters, so you don't ever have to spend money, your real money, to get characters, which I think is cool. I love that. Thank you, Capcom. That's an awesome idea. Congrats. Now, I'm sure it's probably a shit ton of fight money, and a lot of people will probably go buy the characters anyway because there's already a season pass out. But you can earn things with fight money, and the store opens up in March. I'm sure you'll have costumes and things like that, which is cool, but it's not there yet. The lack of content, like I said, for this game is just unreal. So this is just my review of Street Fighter V as a casual gamer. If you're going to get the game, like I said, it's not a bad game. It's not. It's really not. When you do play online and it does run fight, it's fun. When you play survival and you fight 30 enemies, it's fun, but just there's not much to do. After you play survival, it just basically forces you to get online. They really hit the online competitive play a whole lot more than single player. They kind of just left the single player guys out there. Now, I like online. I'm fine with that. I play online games, so it's not a big deal for me. I can play online, and if I get bored, I can go to survival and back and forth. But people who just don't like to get online, they don't want to deal with the frustration and the netcode and the bullshit, I understand. Those people are kind of just shitted on. They can't, you know what I'm saying? They just can't do anything. And I just think that's unfair. And now they said in March we're going to get this patch and hopefully these updates and DLCs or whatever. And maybe you guys will get more content. But as of right now, if you're a single player gamer, do not buy this game until March. Just don't. That's just my personal opinion. I don't care if you're a diehard Street fan or not. I would not get it for a while, at least until patches happen. People play online, I would still wait to get it. I would not spend $60 on this game currently right now. And I'm sure if you check around the internet, people will tell you probably the same fucking thing that I'm telling you. Do not spend $60 on this game. It's totally not worth it at the moment. It's not until patches and updates happen. But anyway, guys, this concludes my casual video game review. I had to get it off my chest. I had to talk about it. Like I said, the game is fun. If you guys want to spend $60, you can. I wouldn't personally do it. If you're a diehard Street Fighter fan, like, oh, I bought them all since Alpha, or I bought them all since Street Fighter 1986, or whatever the first fucking Street Fighter was, buy it. But if you're not, and you're like, oh, I think I can hold off on it, hold off. Just trust me. Wait till the patches come through in March. Hopefully things get better. Maybe I'll make another review video about it, saying, you know what, the patch came in, guys, they fixed the endless battles back. We can watch people play the game. There's arcade mode, you know, story's a little bit better. There's interactive cutscenes now, whatever the case might be. Netcode's better, whatever. Hopefully in March things will get better, but as of right now, man, the netcode is just bad for online. There's not a lot of single player activity. The lack of content sucks. But anyway, guys, this concludes my official review of Street Fighter V. I know it's long. Thank you guys so much for all the subscribers I have. 97. We're so close to the 100 mark. Once I do, I will do a special video with that. I already have it planned out. I'm talking about it in my head. But once again, thank you guys so much. You guys mean the best. And I'll see you guys either on Street Fighter V, hopefully, if the shit gets fixed, or Mortal Kombat X in March when Combat Pack 2 comes out. Anyway, remember, stay majestic. Peace.